Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Ryan Flanagan with MyRepMgr, and today I'm proud to share with you the first session of a two-part series entitled Comprehensive Sales Strategies. I've recently had some conversations and feedback that I received requesting more insight into the sales methodologies behind being a successful reseller of MyRepMgr. That said, the purpose of this presentation is to discuss key areas within the methodology that need to be understood and utilized consistently to ensure the highest degree of success in your sales efforts going forward. So, no matter what, want to make sure that you keep calm and stick to the key points of this presentation. Today, we're going to discuss and review key areas that all play a huge part in your success as a MyRepMgr reseller. In part one, we're going to specifically talk about audience strategy and sales and positioning strategy. In our second part of the series, we're going to discuss product strategy and retail pricing strategy. Number one, audience strategy. As a MyRepMgr reseller, it is essential to target the right leads so that your time in prospecting is put to the best possible use. That requires understanding specific audiences within four key areas that we're going to look at more in depth. And if they don't apply, then don't approach. It's paramount to look for these specific qualifiers as a good lead and filter ones that do not meet these four key areas and really just move on. I wouldn't even waste your time. So number one, seek organizations with high competition. Number two, specifically those with mid to high levels of customer traffic. You also want to keep in mind that they really need to be large enough so that they have a marketing budget. Think high value products and services. And we'll go into some examples of those in just a minute. Also, focus on multi-location businesses. The reason for this being that the real money to be made as a MyRepMgr reseller is all in multi-location, specifically with the brand analytics service that differentiates MyRepMgr from many other reputation intelligence services and offers out there in the marketplace today. So number one, seek high competition businesses. Some examples include automotive dealers, auto service and parts stores, restaurants and restaurant chains, CPAs, attorneys, and banks. You also want to keep an eye out for high customer traffic. So we want to go for what this picture shows us right here. We want as many people coming through that store as possible. A lot of great examples of this are once again restaurants, clothes retailers and other retailers, medical and dental offices, malls, movie theaters, and entertainment venues. It also helps to find high-value transaction businesses. These include auto dealerships, once again, jewelry centers, jewelry stores, jewelry chains. Those are fantastic. Tire centers and electronics carriers. You want to look for prospects like the image above with all of those tacks sticking in the map, and prospects like that are going to generate money like Scrooge McDuck. That's where you need to target your sights on, multi-location businesses. So let's do an exercise together. Using scratch paper, I want you to write out a list of all of the businesses in your local area that follow these specific qualifications. Next to the name of that business, I want you to identify which category they fall into based on the categories that I shared with you. Are they high value, transactional type businesses? Are they high customer traffic businesses? Do they have a high level of competition? On the same line, then after that, I want you to write down who the contact person or decision maker is and whether you know them or are connected through them using some of your immediate connections. A great way to see that relationship is through utilizing LinkedIn. That's the way I do it, and it's one of the fastest ways to go about navigating who you can contact that can give you that warm referral. Next, we're going to talk about sales strategy. It requires three key points. In the first meeting, you want to remember the acronym LLC. Listen, learn, consult. You don't want to sell here. You just want to learn as much as you can about the business. In the second meeting, you want to set the objective. This is the opportunity to prepare your materials right before the second meeting, and then you're going to educate and position the level of interest, engage their interest. You're going to repeat conditions required to succeed. And this is a great time to provide something of value. It lets them know you're serious, you have the know-how, you're credible, and that you are their go-to person that's going to help them resolve their pain. And in the third meeting, remember the acronym ABC, always be closing. So let's talk a little bit about the pre-sales process. I want you to take that list that you wrote out in your first exercise and identify the types of industries those companies are in. At that point, highlight those particular prospects that you either have most of your connections with based on more familiar industries to you, or those that you have the most experience working with or working in. I would specifically focus on just running with one or two industries max. You really want to become an expert at understanding that particular niche and their process. Share with them how you help businesses and show them a generic snapshot report. It could be anyone locally, it doesn't matter. What you want to do is show them how you can find their pain, how you analyze it, and how you can help. Snapshot is great because it's once again showing them visibility and their current snapshot of their visibility, their current online reputation, whether they have a mobile website, and some other key pieces of data about their website that they may not even know about. Once you've shown them the snapshot report, ask them if they'd be interested in a free report for their business and schedule a date to review it with them. I also want you guys to think about the way you approach cold leads. It couldn't hurt, and actually it usually helps if you visit their store. What I've done is I've asked for the manager, and I provide a compliment to the gatekeeper and to the manager as well. That usually warms them up right off the bat, and I have the ability to kind of sweeten them up before I talk to them a little bit about what I do. And then I show them that generic snapshot report, and I ask them right then if they want a free assessment of their location, and if they are open to schedule an in-person meeting to review it sometime that week. But I want you to keep in mind that you need to understand who your target prospect is, and that's the reason why before we did any of this, we talked about audience strategy, because you need to understand when the best times are to approach that particular prospect. I mean, you don't want to go to a restaurant in the middle of, peak lunchtime and bring this on somebody. At the same time, you don't want to potentially go to a jeweler, right around Valentine's Day weekend, because that time is very critical to when they make the most sales. So you have to be mindful of that. And what I would say is, it couldn't hurt to just do some research ahead of time. What I do is I'll call ahead and I'll ask when times are slow, and if there's an opportunity to meet with the manager, or if the manager's in that day. Typically people will tell you, and if they ask you, is there something I can help you with, then I just say, I appreciate it, I just need to speak with them, I just want to check and see if I can stop by later today. And usually that works just fine. So once again, let's review. During the initial meeting, you want to get the prospect talking about themselves and their problems and their business. You need to ask key questions that open them up, that help you understand where their mind is around their pain and how they visualize that, and what their interest is to resolve that pain. What does it look like for them to fix it? How much money is that pain costing them? These are all the types of questions you want to be asking. What I would do is think of this as an interview, right? And you're the one doing the interview, and they're the ones that have to provide you the information in order to really assess whether this is a fit for your business, okay? And this is what that looks like. It's ultimately a reseller discovery. It's you learning about that business. When you set up meeting 2, this is going to be more of the prospect's discovery. This is the opportunity that you set the frame and you direct the pace of the conversation and you facilitate the prospect's learning discovery process and ensure that it's tracking right along with you. A great way to do this is you reinstate the pain points that you discovered on the first call, and you provide the collective materials such as a snapshot or competitive analysis or an online review analysis to accentuate the pain that they shared with you. So it reinforces that. A great resource is the training resource library within MyRepMgr to learn a little bit more about that. And what you need to then do is ask some additional clarifying questions to verify the level of the prospect's desire to resolve the pain. But this is where they're going to ask you more questions and really rely on your expertise and your knowledge to really formulate a capacity to judge whether you're the person that's going to be able to resolve the issue at hand. On the third meeting, you want to be ABC. ABC is always be closing. Reaffirm the pain and their initiative and desire to resolve it. So that tells you what their timeline is. And step 2, you want to provide 2 to 3 options, which is anything from the pricing level and schedule to potentially the packaging of the way you provide your solution. You want to make sure that you give them enough opportunity to feel like they're making the decision that's unique to them. And if you only give them one solution, it's too in the box for them, and they may not be able to think of any other way to pay for that particular service, and that might not be a fit for them, so that actually may turn them off. So the options allow them to make that decision themselves, more or less. And then what you want to do is provide the proposal. Should they not want to move forward, then either you haven't effectively solved their pain, or you need to ask, and really you need to ask more questions and then attempt to close. But hey, listen, we love Belgian waffles, but we don't like prospect waffles. So if they're going to waffle, don't waste your butter, just move on. And that is the end of part 1. Now we're going to go into our Q&A period. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up now, and we'll start discussing some of the key elements within choosing an effective audience and choosing an effective niche to promote your MyRepMgr services. And let's also, entertain some questions in regards to, the sales process, and, love to, see how we can help each other and having that open dialogue. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, everyone. Well, I just want to say thank you so much once again for joining us today on our part 1 of a 2-part series in the comprehensive sales strategy with MyRepMgr. Once again, my name is Ryan Flanagan, and I look forward to seeing all of you on our next training module. Thank you. Have a great day.